Hello guys, today we're gonna take a look at another dollar store miracle, which is wireless charger, chargeus sans fil. Obviously everything here in Canada usually in two official languages. So it costs $4 and support bunch of phones. I never actually tried any cheap wireless charger modules like that, and let's take a look what it is and if it worth $4. So it's in some sort of generic packaging here, and brand is Tech One. This is usual suspect which sells their stuff in Dollarstore. So it's nicely, well, whatever, it's not really nicely packaged. I'm gonna open it from the bottom, go rear and how you call it, back door. Okay, so what do we have? Plastic clamshell over here, or that's not a clamshell, sorry. And it just sits like that, nothing more than that. We have a manual of some sort about charger in two languages, micro USB port obviously, and Bob's the uncle. We don't need that. Micro USB cable is pretty generic and probably pretty flimsy, but it's here. Obviously there is no power module of some sort, or I mean the charger, so that means that you have to rely on your micro USB on your USB charger, or use any other charger which has micro USB interface. So actually the feeling is smooth. It's like nice and smooth feeling of this charger, wireless charger over here, obviously big Tech One. I have suspicion that this is all stuff which actually sold generically by any or many other Chinese companies, and they just rebrand the thing and say whatever. There is also a little feet over here which I suspect hiding screws. It sits okay on the desk, I guess. It picks up, because of this satin finish, it picks up all sorts of garbage just right away, because my desk is not super clean and it already has some dust on it. I'm pretty sure this micro USB cable cannot carry big currents. Hope it will be okay for 2 amps, but I don't care about this right now. So let's open it up, and I'm pretty sure all screws are just here. Let's just I can use my here we are. Screws are visible. I'm gonna just pop those right here. I'm gonna do super nice job like preserving them in nice shape, because I think they are borderline useless, those little feet. Let's grab a screwdriver and see what kind of magic this thing hides inside. I would say what kind of generic magic. 4 screws is probably overkill. This thing just snapped. It's like a snaps and just snap together as a clamshell. That would be pretty sufficient. But like 4 screws, jeez. They're gonna fly to space or something. Anyways, okay. Wow. Okay. It's pretty simple, and what I see is not even centered. I don't know if it's matter. It's actually just sits there, just like that. Oh shit. Look at that. I don't know guys if you see, but that, so okay, let's see first what actually this thing is. So we have a control board over here containing, as you see, 3 active components of a sort, 3 chips, and then a little bit of passives around, micro USB slot obviously to power this device, and the coil. So as you see, the coil resides in some sort of metallic thing, and I suspect this is some sort of ferrite core to amplify magnetic field. And this is not shield, I believe, because otherwise it would just like whack a piece of aluminum or steel. And this is I'm pretty sure this is purposely to improve magnetic field, amplify magnetic field. This is why this core is here, but unfortunately it's all broken. Also on this side there is like sticky tape, so technically this thing sticks to something, like for example it would be sticking like here, and wires would, but someone decided not to really play with it too much, and this stuck it to the back of the control board, and they broke it. And unfortunately, as far as I know, broken ferrite core does shit of amplification, or none at all, or even worse, it actually impedes magnetic field. So I have a suspicion that this wireless charger performance would be garbage, but nevertheless this is just more like a defective unit rather than the how it's supposed to be. So we're still gonna try actually to use it with phone, but at first let's just take a look close up and see what are these components over here and what else we have. Okay, here we are, a little bit of zoomed in. So we have three cheap jobs over here, three SMD components, and those two guys are actually MOSFETs. This is dual channel P MOSFET, and this is dual channel N MOSFET. This is Fairchild Semiconductor. This one, I don't know, some Chinese jobby. I will put some details. But this guy, I have no idea because there is no text on it. So essentially, it's unknown. But judging by the way this is 16-pin component. But judging by the looks like power connected to it, this is more like a microcontroller style of thing, because 16 and 1 are connected to ground and whatever 5 volts, I guess, respectively. So I assume this is some sort of microcontroller. There's a whole bunch of passive around 1, 2, 3, 4 LEDs, and that pretty much it. Like, oh, here are LEDs. Weirdly, they are like shining in the bottom, but the only thing which may kind of save that, because this is kind of translucent plastic, you would see some sort of light poking through this hole. Otherwise, this is like totally useless positioning of LEDs. The coil got directly soldered to those contacts. There is some little tiny bodge over here, so it looks like someone added a little bit more capacitance. I don't know, between USB rails, this is look like to me. And that's it. There's some unpopulated business and nothing on the other side of the board, mostly like big fat power planes, I assume. And that's it. I'm curious what kind of power this thing can do, but in order to measure that, I need a little bit more than just a phone, right? I need some contraption. I'll think about it and I'll come up with something, but for now, let's give it a shot if this device, just like that, like open, works at all. So I have my 5 volts here, my famously restored micro USB, some light blinking. And how would we see all this when it's just like that in a case? I have no idea. I have no idea. But whatever. So, it seems like there is something going on. Not sure if it's, in order to actually see if it's operate, we take phone, we supposedly support QI wireless charging, and it was working while we were using it, this other QI charger. I don't know who to trust now. Okay, well, definitely nothing going on here. Let me find another phone. So guys, after sliding all over the phone like that and try to locate any sort of place where it's would do something, I found that in some places, like for example here, it activates, it starts blinking, so clearly it changes its behavior, otherwise it just doesn't blink or blink once a minute or so. So this means that it does something. The problem is that phone doesn't detect any sort of charging thing happening, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it's nothing. Phone doesn't think it is charging or anything, so yeah, either because of that stupid coil is ferrite disc is broken or whatever, this thing just doesn't seems to be working. Obviously phone would make some sort of noises if it starts charging, but yeah, no, nothing. Anyways, so I don't know what to conclude at this point rather than it just does not work. So essentially it's a garbage. So if you see this kind of stuff in dollars, I'll show you in a sec. If you see this kind of stuff in Dollarstore, do not buy it, because apparently it doesn't work, or it can be defective as the one unit I got. Like for example, you see those cracks. But I do believe it's just faulty stuff. Let me check something else. Does it say? Yeah, it says it's QI enabled smartphone. So obviously this phone is QI enabled because I was already charging it, and also I have Sony Xperia, which I tried as well. It's nothing, they don't react. I just want to grab, I will grab some, I don't know, let's say Galaxy, some of the Galaxy phones like S8 or S9 from borrow from someone and give it a shot to see if it's working, if it's doing anything. Otherwise it's just garbage. So the only positive I could say, the positive thing in this video, that we see how this stupid, you see it's even blinking without having any sort of phone. Yeah, and I can trust this crap. We cannot trust this crap. So at this point, the only good thing about this video that we know what's inside and what kind of components are used, and it looks like it's a relatively simple device. So I'll try to at least either find some sort of schematic or trace it myself. I don't know, it's probably a lot of work, but find some sort of generic schematic of this sort of devices and see if this kind of falls into this layout maybe, and I'll try to illustrate it. But so far this is garbage. Do not buy, please. I'm gonna conclude at this point, and guys, if you like this sort of video, please like and subscribe. Any suggestions, please put in the comments, and see you next time.